Okay, thank you. The progress for this sprint that we have been working is to create a view for a new post. As Arturo said, this screen is just temporarily. We will integrate later with the login and all the other views. So first, we have this initial view. Already have the profile picture, profile name, and also the audience, that is the who can view, and the category. All these come from the database, so if we need to change any of this data, we just need to update the database and no code to change for that. Um, okay, then for when we are typing and in the title or the body, um, sorry, the post is updating in the database. So this is because if we lost the connection in the mobile or we close the application or this view, we can continue later where we left. Mm, okay. Now also that we have the GIFs, uh, right now we are using the GIFs from Tenor, their API. We can search any GIF from Tenor and just select one or whatever you want and add it to the post. Then it will be added right there in the body. And this is on any action. We are saving this in the database, so we are not losing any of these updates. Uh, like we said, if we lost the connection or something like that. And well, basically, this is the screen. Right now, it's only plain text. We don't have the hashtag or dimensions implemented yet. We need to integrate the front end with the back end. Um, well, and now that we complete the post, we just tap the button that say post. Right now it's closing this view, but in the database exists all the posts created. Later, when we create the feeds or the profile view, we will be able to see the post created. Okay, now what we have already is the UI to add video or images. Just that right now we are missing the implementation with the backend, so we can add it in the front end, but it's not saving right now in the backend. So we need to do that implementation and everything should be working. But this is the screen that you will be seeing. And I think that's it. I don't know if there is some questions, comments, suggestions.
It's really neat to see it working. I mean, that's pretty cool. Makes it feel very alive.
And this is the actual code implementation of it. So the functionality you're looking at on the screen, it's real code. It's the mobile application. So next step, it's going to be for us to get Google and Apple account so we can start publishing these updates on a bi-weekly basis. So we can have the application installed on our phones and start playing around with it. So that will be the next steps. And Curtis, one thing to notice is this UI, the one that you're looking at, it still has categories. And the reason being is like a decision was made to have category drop down there. And then while the sprint was in progress,
Right,
they decided to remove it. So this is kind of the impact on how do we prioritize this type of decisions of what do we keep, what do we change while the team is working on. So yeah, that's really important to prioritize time for meetings when it comes to product or design decisions. Prioritize the next things, the immediate needs. So yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to be able to avoid this in the future as we just stick really hard. Frankly, my opinion is if there's a new feature that is being proposed, the earliest it will be allowed to be implemented is MVP, and more likely it'll get pushed down the road. No more alpha changes. Alpha is
Yeah.
alpha. Alpha needs
Yeah.
to stay alpha.
Exactly. Let's try to not touch it and define as much as is needed to continue and allowing the team to make progress.
Yeah.
So, but this changes, it's easy. It's just a matter of, if all of the changes that come, it's like remove this, remove that. Those are the easier changes. But in order to remove, we need to be able to add first. So that is when it comes to reworking or working in something that it's going to get removed or something like that. So it's
Great.
just a waste of time at some point. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going to remove that one. Those are the changes, and the current details that are pending to be implemented. It's the UI for there. Just presenting. Eduardo, can you show the upload image UI, please? Yeah, that one. If you notice this, just show it. Don't upload anything. Just leave it there. Yeah, right there. Thank you. If you notice, this is the native UI of the operative system. The reason being is like we found some limitations when it comes to having our own UI and selecting or previsualizing multiple files. So we found out a limitation, and we went through with the native operative system UI, which is this one. This is the version of Android. In iOS, it's going to look different, but this is the file browser of the phone itself. The reason being is like Lalo created the UI, but there are some restrictions for security or privacy reasons on iOS specifically that does not allow to previsualize or load or read multiple files from different directories other than the application files. So that's the reason we are going with the native one. Okay. So, but that we think that is temporarily, because at the moment we find a workaround to this restriction with Apple. We are going to enable the UI that was created on Figma by Samantha.
Great.
Okay, those are the only points to clarify of relevant things on this functionality. Everything else, it's already saving in our servers, so that's a good thing. It's like saving the post as a draft. So if the application crashes or the user phone runs out of battery or whatever, the user can continue where he left on while editing the posts. Do you have any question for this?
No, so far this all makes sense, and it looks the way I expected it to look. It's great. Yeah, I mean that's always nice. When something looks the way you expect it to.
Yeah, I'm sure. And this is the reason I wanted to, maybe I can stop recording first. Julio or the team, do you guys want to add anything else?
No. Well, just saying that the whole team really made a good effort, and maybe the piece of work that each one of had been work is not visible, but we all really work hard on this.
Oh yeah, definitely. And at this point, it's like the UI, a button, an image on the screen, but it implies a lot of work from the entire team working in the backend, the database side, APIs. There is a lot of work that is not visible here, but the UI, the moment you see a UI working or alive, it means like all the team, the cohesion of all the work, it's behind it. So yeah, that's good.
It's really great. Everybody just really good work. It's doing what it's supposed to do, and that's a really nice place to be. That's a really nice place to be. Excellent job, everybody.